Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another Market Watch Investments video for you guys tonight. Have a few things I'm going to be showcasing for you guys. These are going to be my personal selections, and I do hope that you enjoy. Getting things kickstarted tonight is going to be Heavy Storm, which has been on the ban list for several years now. Konami just dropped the ban list, very lackluster. Unfortunately, we didn't really get anything juicy off the list, but I am a fond believer that everything comes off the list eventually. It's just a matter if Konami decides to errat them or not. A lot of amazing prints of this card. So we have the very amazing nostalgic Hobby League 2 Parallel Ultras. We have the OG Magic stamped Super Rares out of Mel Raiders, very nostalgic Gen 1 Set 2. We have the Gen 1 Gold Series 2008 Ultra Rare Golds, which look very, very nice as well. And looks like there's also a Star Foil here from Battle Pack, which is pretty nice as well. So I want to talk about, let's go ahead and let's check out the Hobby League. So I'm a huge fan of Hobby Leagues. Hobby Leagues is really great stuff. And the aesthetics behind these Parallel Ultras is just really, really amazing. Starting market price here for Lightly Played is going to be 17 bones. If you want near mint, it goes up to 19 bones. And there's 2 pages of availability specifically for this version. Beyond the Hobby League 2 Parallel Ultras, the OG first editions exclusively are really, really nice. Now, this is insanely ancient, so it's extremely competitive to find a first edition, unfortunately. But unlimited starting market price, Slightly Played, is going to be roughly around 3 bones before you factor in shipping, roughly around the same, about 4 bones for near mints. There's 4 pages of availability on this. And again, you know, it's just really difficult to find first editions. I mean, there is a Spanish, near mint Spanish for 51, and then there is the first English, looks like that's about 70 bones for Lightly Played. So very, very, you know, a pricey card and very, very old, very Gen 1 collectability value in this. Amazing artwork. This reminds me of Twister, if you guys remember that movie from like the 90s. It's a pretty good one. And it's just a really amazing card, you know. And you know, it's interesting that we have Harpy's Feather Duster, but we don't have this card. And these have the actual Magic stamp because, you know, it's Gen 1 Set 2, so it has a really, really great Magic stamp there. So Hobby League 2, original OG first editions if you can. Unlimiteds are relatively cheap and just insane, so I think that even like Lightly Played and near mints, Unlimiteds are going to go up in value. I mean, they're just insanely old. And then the last one that I wanted to showcase, the Starfall ones are pretty cool too, but these are definitely the top 3. Gen 1 Gold Series. Gold Series 2008-2009 really did gold right. It's just like a tint, just like a surface area like tint of gold foil on the cards. It wasn't too overly predominant or heavy. It looks very, very nice. And don't worry about first editions. I mean, these are all limited editions because it's a Gold Series set. Near mint, starting market price, roughly found 4 bones. And then there's 2 pages of availability here. So this would definitely be one of the third choice here for Heavy Storm. Next is going to be Waboku. So this card is really good. I might be a little biased. I really love Waboku a lot. Of course, we have the Dual Terminal 3 commons, which are really, really nice, going between, you know, 12, 13 bones. They're relatively expensive for what they are. I mean, they are very nice and technically the highest rarity that we have here. There is a Mosaic Rare. I hate Mosaic Rare. I love Starfoil Rare, but Mosaic Rare just comes off like really digitalized and just really crappy and just cheap looking, and I'm not a fan of the Mosaic Rare. Starlight Starfoil is more my style personally. And another thing to take a look at is the Gen 1 starter deck. So you have like the 2002 starter deck Joey's, first editions exclusively. Those are really old, and I think those are very, very nice, as well as starter deck Pegasus, and then starter deck Yugi as well. So all 3 of these were part of the first 2 waves of Gen 1 starter decks. Really great stuff and relatively affordable. Maybe not so much for the stacks, but it's still, you know, probably under a bone for these cards for first editions exclusively. So I would definitely recommend, you know, if you guys don't want to drop the fat stacks for the DT, these 3 versions are very old and very great and relatively affordable. And next is going to be Gold Sarko. the Gold Ultra Rare out of Gen 2 Gold Series 2009. Amazing artwork. This is my personal favorite rarity of this card. There's several different great rarities of this, but this and the Secret are my top selections, so these are the ones I decided to showcase tonight. Starting market price for this is roughly around 7 bones for lightly played, and yeah, about 7 for near mint. You can notice these are all 1 stacks, and there's only 2 pages of availability, so definitely dwindling on quantity for the TCGP platform. Next is going to be the Hidden Summoners, the Secret Rares dawning out of Hidden Summoners. This is also very, very nice, and it's extremely affordable, high rarity Secret Rare, and just an amazing card in general. I mean, this card's at 1. I'm pretty sure this is at 1, if I can. Is it? I can't remember. Hold on, let's just check this out really quick. Gold Sarco. Oh, that's forbidden. Let's see here. Gold Sarco. Yes, so it is limited. Just an amazing card. The sheer fact that you can just rip anything out of your deck and, you know, just get it in 2 turns is just really great, in my personal opinion. Again, just really amazing artwork. So these are, you know, insanely affordable. They're roughly around 2 bones before you factor in shipping. Lightly played near mints pretty much all across the board. There is a fat 34 stack here for roughly around 3 bones for near mint first edition from Super Games, and there is 4 pages of availability. Next is going to be Trap Stun. So this is definitely one of the MVPs in this showcasing. I'm a really big avid fan of Trap Stun. The sheer fact that this is like a single turn Royal Decree is really, really great, and there's some amazing rarities. We have this Secret Rare dawning out of Legendary Collection 5Ds. I'm a huge fan of all the Legendary Collection sets, more specifically Legendary Collections 3 and 4 and Legendary Collection Kaiba, but these other ones are pretty cool. A lot of amazing card selections and amazing rarities, so if you guys have time, I would definitely check out all of the Legendary Collection sets, specifically for the first edition versions. And this has, you know, cardboard on cardboard artwork, which I'm a big fan of. Really like it. You know, a great rarity of Secret Rare. And it's just a really underrated card. I think, you know, this locks traps away for a turn, which I think can be really good in a game. So, lightly played first edition is going to be around 5 bones, because there's this sneakily shipping here added in. So it's pretty much 5 bones. 5 bones pretty much all across the board for this card. It looks like there's all of them are first edition, so that's nice. Bombs out at 20 bones. Not really a bunch of stacks. Well, there's a stack here of 58, but it goes all the way up to 10 bones. So availability is definitely dwindling on this, and this is just, you know, I guess aesthetically this is just a really great card. And then the next version is going to be the Dual Terminal 5 Commons. Again, Dual Terminal's out of print, well on its way to the collector's market, already pretty much collector's market, and this card is still insanely affordable in the Dual Terminal versions. There's a fat stack of 22 here for under a half bone for near mints, which is just insane. There's another 30 stack here for half bone, 8 stack here. So there's 4+ pages. So this card there's a lot of quantity, and it's very affordable. And, you know, it's not as nice as the Secret Rare first editions, but it is Dual Terminal. It's still very nice, and it's also a lot more affordable than the Secret, so this is definitely a healthy alternative. Next is going to be Swift Scarecrow, specifically the highest rarity that we have in the TCG, as a super rare dawning out of Astral Pack 4. I really like the artwork on this, and this is just, again, it's just one of those random level 1s. You know, I got a kind of a strange fascination with level 1s. I really love level 1 monsters. And this is just, it's kind of like an augmented version of Battle Fader. I mean, some people say Battle Fader is better because you actually have board presence by dropping a monster. But then, you know, I don't know. But this is still pretty good too. Obviously, this can be stopped with like Strike or something. Same with Battle Fader. But I think this is kind of just like an extenuation to Battle Fader, which is really cool. And, you know, back in the day, it was used in the level 1 Mystic Piper deck with like Effect Veiler and the cat thing and, you know, all that stuff. So just really nostalgic memories on that. So there's not a lot of availability of this being the highest rarity as a super rare. Starting market price lightly played is 4 bones, and it quickly goes to 5 for near mints. There's a 3 stack here for 6, but after that it's all just 1 stacks, and this is the only page here on the market price. So very limited quantity on that. Next is going to be some more Hobby League stuff. So Hobby League 6 Dawn DD Warrior Lady as a parallel ultra rare, and this actually picture looks relatively accurate. Usually there's not really good pictures here on this platform. don't really give the cards justice in the artwork, but this actually is kind of accurate. The parallel holofoiling is a lot more predominant, like up close in person. Extremely gorgeous card, amazing artwork. I'm a really big fan of DD Warrior Lady, and this is a really great rarity. And let's go ahead and take a look at some starting market prices. It's about 12-ish bones starting market price for lightly played. If you want near mint, it goes up to 21. And these are all 1 stacks until you hit this 18 stack, and that starts near mint for about 25 bones before you factor in shipping, and there's only 2 pages of availability. So really, really great. I mean, the history value behind this, you know, cookie cutter chaos era, like way back in the day, and it's really great artwork, and it's just really, I just really like this card a lot. Next is going to be the original Super Rares OG prints dawning out of Gen 1 Dark Crisis. Very, very great set. And, you know, these were the first edition prints, the first print runs, and the first versions made here for the TCG. And again, it's amazing artwork. You know, effect relatively kind of holds up, and we don't really see much of this being played really ever. I mean, has it have potential to come to the game later on? Maybe, but right now it's more of just like a collector's card, in my opinion. Starting market price for Near Mint Unlimited is about roughly around 4 bones. Before you factor in shipping, and then if you want to get a first edition, which I highly recommend, like 99.9% of my content, I recommend you always go first edition. Don't overpay for first edition, but if you have the means, definitely invest in first edition, more specifically because I consider this a collector's card too. And it's about 9 bones starting market price for the first edition lightly played. If you want near mint first edition, that's going to be a little bit of a deeper dive. There's 5 pages here of availability, and the first near mint is about 21 or 22 bones, and then about a bone shipping after that. So pretty great value on the first edition prints of OG DD Warrior Lady. Next is going to be Graceful Charity, specifically out of Hobby League 4. Again, another amazing, aesthetically pleasing, ultra rare, parallel ultra rare. Amazing artwork on this. Obviously, we got the censored artwork version. There is no halo on the angel in this artwork, as there is in the Japanese OCG, but still an all-around amazing card. Very, very nostalgic, classic, old-school styled artwork, and this card's insane. Interesting enough, the very first print that we got of this was actually out of Starter Deck Pegasus, so this didn't even originally come out of a core booster set. It came out of a starter deck way back in the day, Gen 1, like 2002 or 2002 era starter deck from Starter Deck Pegasus. So really great stuff on that. And the first editions for the supers, I definitely recommend. I'm going to kind of take a peek at those in a little bit, but this is my personal favorite rarity of Graceful Charity, and there's also a lot of great rarities, which I'm going to get into in a minute, but there is a single page of availability here. Starting market price for near mint is 30 bones, and then it pretty much just kind of trickles up and then bottoms out at about 76 bones. And there's really just not a lot of availability. I mean, there's a 9 stack here, a 9 stack here, but there's some pretty steep price points. So this has definitely been relatively eradicated for the most part off of the market here. Some healthier alternatives, which are still very, very nice, would be, again, the Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World, one of my all-time favorites. Well, my all-time favorite subset, Legendary Collection set. Really great, you know, deep secret rare foils you can see here as a secret rare. Really great, amazing set, amazing card, amazing rarity. And this starting market price has gone up quite a bit. Lightly played first edition is 34 bones. I mean, the near mint here starts at 30, then 34 for lightly played first edition. If you want near mint first edition, it goes all the way up to 47 bones, and there's only 2 pages of availability. So this card has seen some exponential growth. I mean, for the longest time, this was sitting at like 10, 15 bones, and now it's pretty much like 34 bones, which is very, very incredible. The last version that I want to showcase for you guys tonight is going to be the original Generation 1 Magic stamped prints, the very first print that we ever got in the game, dawning out of Starter Deck Pegasus. Again, Generation 1 Starter Decks, really, really great, like 2002 era as a super rare. And yeah, amazing artwork, amazing rarity, really old card, really amazing history, merit on this, and unlimiteds are going for about 4 bones before you factor in shipping. The first edition is a lightly played for roughly around 5-ish after you factor in shipping. There is 5+ pages of availability, and there's another lightly played here for roughly around 7. So not too insanely expensive, but definitely significant enough. I mean, for the longest time, for like years, I was picking this card up like around 2-3 bones for like first editions, lightly playeds, and near mints, and it hasn't increased tremendously here, but it's definitely had a significant increase. Like, this card is just insane. I'm a huge fan of collecting first edition prints of the supers and ultras from these Gen 1 starter decks. Very, very old, very collectible, high in collectability value. And I don't think we've seen a near mint yet, or at least near mint first edition. Really curious to see what those are. It looks like the first near mint first edition is going to be roughly around 10 bones, so not too terribly expensive. But I mean, seeing how this card was for like the longest time, like 2 bones, 4 bones, it's definitely gone up. I'm going to switch over really quick to 3 stacks just to kind of see what the bulky availability is. So a lightly played for a 24 stack starts at almost 22 bones here, and then near mint first edition is 25 bones, which has a stack of 10. So there's some little bit of information for bulky stacks. Again, like always, you definitely more so than ever want to invest in first edition for this, because this is a banned card and it's a collector's card. Next is Giant Tornado. This is, again, I mean, I kind of understand that, now that we have Harpy's Feather Duster, it's kind of frustrating that we don't have Heavy Storm, but there's a kind of a recycle factor combo behind this. I mean, you can, like, maybe play, like, some continuous magic cards as an example, and then, get their effects, and then basically play this as a follow-up, and then basically recycle them back to the hand and play them again, and, there's different combos that you can do. This is the original Magic Stamp version out of Spell Ruler. Out of Magic Ruler. Deepest apologies about that. And this is a super rare, really great artwork. I love, like, the green, the like lime green, like Ghost Phantom hollow foil here, and this has just been banned for a long time, and it came off the list, and then it got banned again. It's kind of like reminds me of Snatch of Steel. It came for like a single format. It was pretty ridiculous, but this card is about 3 bones for lightly played. Starting market price, lightly played unlimited is around 3 bones before you factor in shipping. If you want near mint, it's going to go up to about 5-6 bones. But again, this card, it's a very old banned card, and I think it's definitely, it's insanely old. It's Gen 1 Set 3, so it's very, very old. Definitely well on its way to collector's market. So first edition lightly played is about 13-14 bones, which, sounds kind of steep, but this card is very, very ancient, and it's just going to continue to increase. It has a lot of reprints, but this is the highest rarity, and it is the original print as a super rare. So let's go ahead and see if we find a near mint first edition. Starting market price is actually 28. And again, this sounds very expensive, but you have to keep in mind this is insanely old, and it's got a lot of history merit behind it. And again, first edition near mints is really, really hard to come by. So I only have a couple versions first edition myself. Really great card. Next is going to be the OG print of Twin Twisters, super rare, Dotting Out Breakers of Shadow. This and the secret rares are my favorite. I know there's an OTS ultimate rare, which looks pretty cool, but White Mexican Theory, the ultimate rares are they're always so ridiculously expensive. And sometimes they don't come out. They're not really manufactured that well. Sometimes the artwork comes out really, really dark. But don't get me wrong, I know there's a collectability behind the ultimate rares, and they look very nice for the most part. But the supers and the secrets look just as nice, in my opinion, and they're just a lot more affordable. So they're a better investment, my personal opinion, player preference. But this is the original print super rares. And near mint first edition is going for roughly around 2 bones after you factor in shipping. And this, obviously is very, very insanely affordable. 5+ pages. I'm going to switch over to 3 stacks to kind of give you guys a quick view of the bulky pickup opportunities. It's roughly around 2 bones before you factor in shipping. There's a 3 stack for lightly played. Then it goes 3 bones for a 3 stack. So really not a lot of stacks here, surprisingly enough. I mean, there's 5+ pages, but when you get to the 3 or more to buy in bulk, it's kind of dwindling up, but still very, very affordable. I mean, this was such a game changer card. For the longest time, we had MST, and MST was like the go-to card, and still MST is that, you know, that classic 1-for-1 magic trap removal. Really, really great stuff. So this is definitely, honestly, probably my favorite because, again, it's the original. The secret rares are very, very nice. Dawning Out of Shadows of Valhalla, really, really great as well. But these are obviously a little bit more costly. Starting market price for Near Mint First Edition is going to be a little bit over 5 bones. There's a 6 stack here for almost 6 bones. So 5 pages of availability, plenty of availability in the market. But again, it's just a lot more costly, a lot more money than the super rares, but still really great. Next is going to be MST. So the card that started it all, the classic MST Negate, all that great stuff. Magic Ruler, done the original ultra rare prints, and these are personally my favorite because, you know, they actually have the magic stamp, and they're the first for like Gen 1 set 3 Magic Ruler is really, really great. Of course, you have Gold Series Haunted Mine, which did the Ghost Gold hybrid. So this, to the day, MST and Solemn Judgment are still the only cards in the entire TCG that got Ghost Gold treatment and rarity. So the only magic and trap cards that are ghosts. So I think that alone carries huge weight in collectors' value, and people have really been noticing the last couple of years. I've noticed that there's definitely been a kind of spotlight on ghost golds in general because they, you know, they're one of a kind. I mean, some players kind of like look down on them because they're like, oh, they're hybrids, they're ghost golds, they're not like purebred ghost rares, but they're still very much aesthetically pleasing and just as good as ghost rares in my personal opinion, and they're just have insane collectability value. And personally, I'm holding on to, and I've been collecting and picking up MST and Solemn Judgment, you know, anytime I can, and they've been going up in price, but, you know, I think they're going to continue to go up in price because they're just amazing cards with amazing history merit and a lot of character behind them, and a really amazing unique rarities. There also is the Hobby League 2 Parallel Ultras. Again, you guys know how much I love Hobby League, so this is a really great choice too. Astral Pack 8 donned an ultimate rare for all you ultimate rare lovers. This, you know, a pretty fat stack value over here. There also was a secret rare out of Legendary Collection for Joey's World, which is really great as well. Legendary Collection 3 ran parallel to Legendary Collection 4, a lot of the same cards and the same rarity to double the chances of getting these really great cards in high rarities. Go for first editions exclusively. So both of these, either print. I'd go for 3 over 4 just because it's older and I like Yugi better than Joey, but both of these secret rares are really great. Obviously, there's a Dual Terminal 1 common, which is really awesome. So just there's so many ridiculously amazing rarities of this card. I think MST is like has some of the most reprints. This has 51 different prints. Not 51, I'm sorry. This is results. 3 pages of different variants. I mean, look at how many variants are how many is it? It's 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6, so like 30. There's 30 different variants on this first page, and there's 3 pages of this, so this has been like reprinted to hell. It's insane, but hence we have some really amazing rarities, and I really think people are just sleeping on this, the classic, you know, notation that this is like the most infamous 1-for-1, and it's not going anywhere. Yeah, people like Cyclone because it removes and all this stuff, but this is still a very, very nostalgic card, definitely on its way, and has been in the collector's market for a while, and I just really like this card a lot. So I think some sleeper investments for this specifically that people aren't really looking at is the star foils. So there's the star foil here, of course, Dual Terminal, which actually I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna go ahead. This is gonna put a little break on my time for the video, but I just want to give you guys some more details here. So what I'm gonna do, this is relatively affordable. Well, the stacks are gone, so that's unfortunate. Their stacks are gone here. Again, there is unlimited, so make sure you go for first editions. Starting market price is roughly around $1 for this, but the stacks are gone. There's only 2 pages. So again, White Mexican Theory, I believe star foils are like the augmented versions, kind of like the next set of dual terminal, because dual terminal is discontinued. So I think the player base collector's market is definitely taking note of and starting to move on, and already pretty much has been moving on Star Foils for quite a while. Let's go ahead and check out the Dual Terminal 1, which is really great. I mean, it's dual terminal. It's the first dual terminal 1. I mean, right after preview came out before this, obviously, which is, pretty much unattainable right now. Really crazy price values in preview. But the first dual terminal is a common, really great stuff. I want to switch over here to stacks to see if there's any availability. There actually is some, and they're roughly around 2-3 bones for some 3 stacks, 4 stack for 4. So this is actually still relatively affordable for what it is. I really think, and it's like this birthday cupcake sprinkle polka dot DT rarity, which is pretty great. So there is the DT. Those are definitely underlooked. Again, there's the secret rares. Both of these are secret rares. And this looks super gorgeous. I really love, Ghost Rare and Secret Rare are my all-time favorite rarities. So I'm a really big fan of this. Lightly played first edition, starting market price is 4 bones. There's just a 3 stack here. Near mint first edition are 5 bones for a 3 stack. So it's up to you guys. I just think these are really undervalued versions of a really amazing nostalgic card. And of course, the hobby leagues and the ghosts, and I'm talking about this card way too long, but I really love MST a lot, and especially the artwork is super awesome. So the last thing I'm going to cover here for this card is going to be the original ultra rares out of Magic Ruler. And let's see here. So near mint unlimited starting market price is roughly around 10 bones. And let's see if we can find some first editions. The first editions I feel like are going to definitely be up there in price value for sure. First edition is a lightly played here for 40 bones, 1 stack. If you want near mint first edition, you're gonna have to keep on digging here. 6 pages of availability on the OG print here. First near mint first edition is almost 90 bones. It's about 88 bones for near mint first editions. So incredible stuff on MST. Next is going to be Copy Plant. So there's 2 versions of this card. There is the original OG Commons, Dawning Out of Crossroads of Chaos. This was a really great set. This is a set that dawned Black Rose Dragon, which is a really awesome collector's card and just a great utility card in general. Definitely one of my all-time favorite synchro monsters. And I think this is really good. I mean, you just slap this on board, you copy a plant type monster's level, and then, of course, the best thing is it's a tuner, so you can go into your synchro summon. I don't know, I think this is just kind of like an obscure card that no one really knows about, at least that I'm aware of, and I just think it's really good. I mean, it's just a common. I mean, it's unfortunate that, they should have definitely, I think it was definitely more than good enough to be at least a super rare, but pretty cool artwork too. I like the artwork. So this is obviously insanely affordable, just kind of a random common. So I'm going to switch to 3 stacks. You're going to want to go first edition, of course, and they're about a half bone. There's a 4 stack here. And then there's a 13 stack for a half bone here as well. So I believe the other version was like an OTS pack or some kind of tournament pack related. But I would prefer this one personally because it's the original print and you can get first edition copies. Next is going to be the Cheerful Coffin, specifically the common Dawning Out of Metal Raiders. This is Generation 1 Set 2, insanely old. The biggest thing I think about is Dark World. So back in the day, and not everyone, I mean, maybe I'm just kind of, a crazy old fool, but I used to love playing this in at least a 1-of in Dark World. And, it's just got this really old style, like Gen 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Artwork. Again, it's part of the Gen 1 collector's market, and so, of course, it has this very nostalgic Magic stamp here, which has really great history merit. And I think it'd be really cool. I don't think we got a holo version of this. I believe they're all commons. Surprisingly enough, only 2 commons, a Dark Beginning and the OG Metal Raiders. So I think this would look really, really amazing and super rare. I really hope we get a super rare version of this, but I would not disregard the original OG prints out of Metal Raiders. First edition exclusively. Obviously, unlimiteds are, worth nothing because they're unlimited. So really quick, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to 3 stacks just to even find if there is. There's actually, lightly played first edition is about a half bone. There's a 3 stack here. There is a stack of near mint first editions for about $1 before you factor in shipping. So these are steals. I mean, you just hear me out. I know that these are common, but these are insanely old. And again, you know, that's showcasing all the Dark World stuff. Obviously, this is pretty much Dark World is one of the only decks you'd actually see some competitive play in this. And even then, you know, people opted to not use this card. But even the commons, I mean, you look at these Gen 1 sets for the first editions exclusively, and even the commons are holding some exponential value. So, really great card on the Cheerful Coffin. Next is going to be Shared Ride, the original Secret Rares, dawning on a legacy of the Valiant. This has just complete blowout artwork. I mean, it's a quick play magic card, so it has the utility. You can play it on your turn from the hand. You can set it, play on your opponent's turn, which is like pretty much the standard play for this card. It's got Sangan, Graceful Charity, some like Demon Omens over here, and one of the demons from Delinquent Duo, which is another very nostalgic, amazing collectible ban card. And this is basically like a maxi. It's essentially a maxi for searching, and the sheer fact that you get to draw one, it's not once per turn, it's every time they search from the deck or the graveyard, add from the graveyard or add from the deck to the hand, and you know, it's an instant +1. Really great stuff. I think this is an extremely underrated side card and a really great tech card. Lightly Played Unlimiteds is going to be roughly around 3 bones. Near mint is roughly around 3 bones as well. There's 4 pages of availability here on TCGP. First edition is a Lightly Played 1 stack for roughly around 4 bones before you factor in shipping. Near mint goes to 7 bones. And there's just really not a lot of availability. You switch over to 3 stacks. There is a Lightly Played first edition 3 stack for about 10 bones. So really great stuff. Because this is relatively not, I don't want to say expensive, but I mean, it's like kind of like a what I consider like a midterm or a medium valued investment. First edition is around 5 bones here. There was a mirrored Secret Rare reprint dawning on Megapack 2014. And normally, everyone knows that the original prints are worth more, they're harder to get, and they just hold more value in general. But it's still, you can get, the same rarity of Secret Rare, and you can still get, first editions, and these are a lot more affordable. I mean, we saw with the original print, it was 5 bones for the first edition copy, and this near mint first edition copy is 2 bones. If we switch over to 3 stacks to buy in bulk, I mean, there's some stacks for 2 bones here for near mint first editions. So even though these are reprints, you got to keep in mind they are still the same rarity, gorgeous rarity of Secret Rare, and they are still first edition, which is all you need, really. So kind of my white Mexican theory is if you can get pretty much double or triple the amount of cards for the value of the OG prints, I would definitely recommend that you guys go and pick up the stacks for the Megaton reprints. Same rarity, same edition, that's what it's all about. Next is going to be Apprentice Piper, dawning on a Raging Tempest. This is a common. I don't know how many other versions. I'm assuming that maybe it's just one of the Megatons reprinted another common as well. This is insane though. Like, this is just a really random, obscure common that no one really talks about, or I don't even really know if anyone knows about. This is insanely, insanely affordable. Obviously, a little bit of a silly artwork here, but I think this card is good for what it is. It's kind of just like a random good common. I love running into those every once in a while. It's a random flip spellcaster. Dark level 2, and this card is just a common, so I'm going to switch over to 3 stacks and check the availabilities for the first editions. About a half bone. Here's a 19 stack, half bone for near mint first edition. So 3 pages of availability for the stack, so I just think this is pretty good for what it is. Next is going to be Anniversary Pack. So I'll be honest with you, everyone knows this has insane value. Pretty much all cards across the board are some, worth decent amount of value. Buster Blader looks pretty cool, but honestly, I really don't like any of these other ones. Even Jinzo, I know a lot of people like this version of Jinzo. I think the original artwork is a lot better, but, a lot of people like this one. I personally don't, but, player preference. Same with Summon Skull and Celtic Guardian, and these other ones, I just, not really a big fan at all. But Red Eyes Bee Dragon and Blue Eyes, unparalleled artwork, definitely. I mean, this is my favorite version of Blue Eyes. This kind of reminds me of like Disney, the Disney castle. It's like Blue Eyes White Dragon is on like the Disney castle, or what's what I think of, like the opening of like a Disney movie or something. But amazing, and these are going for insane value. So let's go ahead and check out Red Eyes first. Starting market price, lightly played. Unfortunately, this is actually a Japanese OCG, so we wouldn't really much concern about that. Lightly played, limited, about 66 bones. If you want near mint, there's 3 pages of availability here. First near mint goes up to 82 bones. So very, very quick price increase on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at Blue Eyes, which is the crown jewel here. And man, the artwork, I love the artwork, the stars and the crescent moon, and just really great. I could talk about this card for a while. So some Japanese ones to start off, so I wouldn't really pay much attention to those. Lightly played is going to be, and there's no first edition. This was obviously like a special anniversary subset pack, so there's no first edition, so you don't have to worry about that. About 78 bones starting market price for lightly played. If you want near mint, there's only 2 pages of availability here. Near mint starting market price goes up to 201 bones. So very, very incredible. Seeing more specifically that, you know, this is just a lowly ultra rare, but still, it's Blue Eyes White Dragon, infamous, never-ending collectability on these cards, and this is just amazing. Like, could you imagine, like, if we would have only known, you know, when Anniversary Pack dropped, how much all of these promos would go for? It's pretty wild. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, you know, because the list dropped, and, you know, I would assume that majority of players, I mean, yes, we were happy VFD got banned, and what was the other one? VFD and Union Carrier. So, and obviously Zexal, yeah, that was Utopic Zexal. Great bans by Konami. Obviously, those were some troublesome cards that people were getting annoyed by, and they just wanted to kind of get eradicated out of the game state. So, good on them. But besides that, an all-around just really lackluster set. I mean, it was cool. We got Firewall Dragon, which, you know, we kind of knew because OCG's already had it for a while. And I've always just really liked Firewall Dragon in general, more so from a collectible standpoint. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about really quick was some things that didn't come off the list. So White Mexican theory is when lists drop and things don't, the hype dies down and things don't come off the list, prices tend to decrease significantly, and that's when you want to go in and buy these cards. It's pretty much not right after a ban list, but about a month to a month and a half after the list drop is like the ideal time, in my personal opinion, when to pick up ban cards. And what I'm looking at is Macrocosmos and Skill Drain. These are both limited, and they've been limited forever. They're just like complete blowout floodgate continuous trap cards. Really, really great. There is several different great prints. Both of them have dual terminal versions, ultra rare versions. Really great stuff. So I would definitely, you know, in about a month to a month and a half, I would go and I would pick up your copies of those cards, Macro and Skill Drain. Really great stuff. And let's see, of course, Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin got a super rare print out of Secret Slayers, which is really great. And where is it? Upstart Goblin. Anyway, here it is, Upstart Goblin, which is another really great card too. So just kind of food for thought. There's you know, several different cards that I can go into. I mean, obviously I talked about Heavy Storm, which is another great one, and Giant Trinade. There's just a lot of amazing stuff, but for time purposes, that's kind of, you know, all I have for you guys tonight. Link below is going to be to my Facebook. I'd love for any and all of you guys to add me, message me. I'd love to talk about anything Yu-Gi-Oh related with you guys. Yu-Gi-Oh has been part of my life for 2 decades. I feel extremely compassionate about this game. I love the trading, the deck building, the diversity, the creativity, the brotherhood, the friendships. There's just so many amazing things that go into this hobby, and I'm so grateful and consider myself extremely blessed to have followed through and carried this great hobby with me for several years of my life now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.